Is proving to be a good football team, in Houston. To find a way to fight back, make it a one-score game, drive for the 2-minute drill at the end, to come up a little bit short. Hats off to our kids, how tough they are, how physical they are, but the leadership on the team. I know I've read all the things about how we've got a young team, we've got a young roster, but I just want to give credit to our older guys, our single-digit guys that come to work every single day. They lead, they fight, they compete in everything they do, and they're setting a great example for all the young guys that are gaining experience each and every game. So obviously my hat's off to them. I thought one of the biggest things that helped us last week getting ready, and it will help us moving forward, is how good of a job the scout team did. Our graduate assistants, I thought, did an outstanding job throughout the week, giving us great looks. We kept rotating some of the starters down to the scout team, both sides of the ball, especially along the defensive line, because their nose guard was a real guy, so they're trying to give them looks. But they did a really nice job, and we just got to continue that moving forward for us to develop individually as players and to give great looks. But some of the guys that stood out, the defensive scout team player of the week was Juan TK. Special teams, we actually had two, walk-on Josh Allen and Jeremy Jennings were co-scout team special teams players of the week. And you guys will love this one. Anthony Russo was the offensive scout team player of the week, so I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of questions now, but he did a great job leading the offense, giving a great look, simulating what Houston did offensively. The thing we always do on Tuesday, and you guys probably have already seen it, the jersey number 1 for this week is a kid that transferred in here, played the last couple of years in North Carolina Central, and has come in here and had an unbelievable attitude. Really bought into this culture, dove in with both feet to be just a tremendous leader and a competitor. And I don't know if anybody knows this, but he played at a high level at defensive back last week, but was a dominant special teams player. He had to get stitches in his mouth during the game, had a busted lip, and there were some really violent shots being taken both sides of the ball during the game. But him fighting through that, not wanting to come out of the game because he cares so much about his teammates, cares so much about his team and this university. And so the guy that's going to be wearing number 1, the single digit for us this week, is obviously Mike Jones. So really, really proud of him. He's a guy that could have been, a mid-round pick, late-round pick for the NFL last year. Out of North Carolina Central, came here to finish off his career with us. Really proud of him, and glad that he did do that. Some of the guys that you guys might have noticed missing today, and I don't talk about injuries, but I know it's going to come up because we pulled them off of the above the line list. Saquon Jefferson, Jagger Gardner, Austin Jones, Javon, and Atoki. The last two, I think, we're going to get back, hoping we're going to get back. But the other 3, Saquon, Jagger, and Austin Jones, I don't think they're going to be ready. It might even be a while for those 3. The other thing that I'm sure I'm going to get questions about is Trayvon Williams. We put him in running back. We're down to 2 scholarship running backs on the roster that are healthy. So Trayvon's going to be there. He gave us a spark on Saturday. He ran the sweep around the edge and then finished off the run. I mean, he's like 5'8", 170, but he delivered what might have been the hit of the game to really give us even more juice when we were playing well in the second half. Coach Padnote, I thought, did a great job. He hasn't been up in the box in about 8 years. We were doing a little more up-tempo on Saturday, calling it from the line of scrimmage. And so he went up to the box so that he could see the field and see the coverages and see the pressures. I thought he did a really good job of that on Saturday. I think it helped us get that running game sparked in the second half because he was able to see the rotation of the safeties. He was able to see where the blitzes were coming from. And he was helping us, get to the right IDs and the right marks in the run game. And our kids did a great job getting pushing, getting movement, and then our running backs hitting the holes and hitting the holes violently. So, any questions?
Geoff, on the call yesterday, you said, I think, triple the amount of the plays were sent in to the league office this week, questionable call.
Sure.
just, what did you hear back from the league office? What can you share about that?
I don't know what I can share about it, but there were a bunch of calls that we sent in, just because I want to make sure we're coaching everything right, making sure that we're doing everything we can to ensure player safety. And the nice thing, I knew that Sean Bradley said during the game, I mean, that he's one of the greatest kids in the world, one of our best players. I knew he wouldn't do anything that was trying to be malicious, and the league did agree with that one, that he didn't. They said he shouldn't have been tossed, but he did, and I want to give credit to William Gluku. He's a kid that for 8 months in this program has played Willie backer. The last 2 weeks he's had to play Mike linebacker and has backed up Sean. And each week he got better and better and better. And then Sean being out for 3 quarters, William came in and did a really good job. Obviously we don't want to lose any players, especially if it's a questionable call, but William came in there and played a high level for us. So the only thing that's bad about that play, it would have resulted in 3rd and 10. Gave him a first down, put him close to the red zone, they ended up getting a touchdown when, I think the way our defense has been playing, we have a chance to not have any points get up on the board. And then a 1-score ball game, it's a little tough to swallow, but, we just got to play better.
Are you able to say how many calls they said they blew?
I have no idea. I don't know. It was,
Are you saying they
was
blew?
feedback and all that stuff. So.
Are you saying you're not saying they blew calls? You just send them in for you just send the calls in for them to review, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Just to get clarification, and some of the times it happens in real time, and once you get it on tape, it's a little clearer, and they were able to give reasons why it should have been the call that we thought it was, or that they justified the reason of the call. So, but it's
What did you see out of Anthony Russo in practice this week to get that?
Yeah, it was last week, but I thought he played with a lot of poise. I don't know if you guys have noticed how we do our quarterback situation out of practice. But we always use 2 quarterbacks. Toddy will do the run game. Russo will stand about 7 yards back when it's passed. He'll spin it, just like it's 7-on-7, and they'll flip him sometimes. Anthony will be in the run game, and then Toddy spinning it. I just thought he, threw the ball, had good poise, had good, leadership of the scout team offense. So I was really, really happy with him, really proud of him, as we are all our kids that selflessly give for the, betterment of the team by being on the scout team. Because at times it can be a thankless job. And that's why I want to make sure that those kids are recognized, because they don't, you see them on Saturday. I don't know if you guys noticed the sidelines, but the energy and the juice from every single kid on the sideline throughout the game, I thought was awesome. And there's that into it. They give a lot to this program. They get no recognition. They're not like, the guys that are scoring the touchdowns or getting the sacks, but, they're invested just as much as all those guys. Josh Lang, who's our backup long snapper, I think in his entire career he might have played 8 snaps. But he does all the mat drills that we do. He does all the off-season conditioning. We carry water jugs to stay hydrated all day, every day to class, in our meetings. Josh Lang makes sure he has his jug every single day. He does all the workouts for 8 plays in his career. He spoke to the team Friday morning, and it was powerful. How much he loves this team, how much he's invested, and all the guys in this team are. But just, Josh Lang is a special kid because he's not guaranteed to ever play here. But he's giving of himself emotionally, spiritually, his time, his work. And it's kids like that that make this place special, make this program what it is. So I think, hats off to all those guys that sacrifice and aren't going to get the rewards at times to play on Saturdays for us. But just the love and respect I have for those kids is through the roof.
Well, when you're the kid like Russo with his background that's not playing right now, do you ever have to worry about his confidence since he's not getting time on the field?
Have you been around Russo?
Yeah, I was wondering.
Anthony does not lack for confidence, and I mean that in the best possible way. He's a confident kid. He knows he's got a strong arm. He's very self-reflective in coaching and the things that he needs to improve on. He takes it, he listens, and he wants to get better. And just the stress to him and everything is just the attention to detail in every phase of his life. Because he's got a strong arm, he's a great kid, he's a good leader, and his time's going to come. When that is, we don't know, but he knows he's in control of all the playing time that he gets and where he is in this program, and I'm proud of him.
Geoff, you were alluding to the running game and how it started to work last week. What seemed to kind of get things on track this past week, and how much splitting the carries kind of keep everybody fresh?
Yeah, I thought we kept them off balance tempo-wise, and I think it was surprisingly, you guys don't get to see the game film of the practice, it was surprisingly close, and we were just one block away or one ID away for about 2 weeks, and then it just finally just started clicking. The guys were hitting, and then the running back started trusting it, and then it just started falling into place. And, I think we're a tough team, we're a physical team, and as long as we can get it established, at some point, it's going to crack and things are going to start opening up for us. I think that finally happened for us in the second half on Saturday, and then the challenge to our guys is, we're going on the road against a good opponent in a tough environment. You've got to start fast, because if that crowd gets into it, you got to make sure that, that we are playing at a high level right off the bat and try to establish something in all three phases of the game against an opponent that we respect and players and coaches we respect.
Last week, President Engler, he said that Temple is still pursuing an on-campus stadium. Just what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's great. I'm focused obviously on the season. I'm focused on East Carolina. But that's awesome. I think whenever it happens, my faith is in the board. My faith is in the president. Obviously, Dr. Kraft is amazing. So when it happens, I'm going to be fired up. Right now, I'm worried about the season and all those things.
How much would it mean to the football program to have an on-campus stadium?
I think it's special. I think having a place right here on Broad Street is going to be great. Whatever time frame it happens, we're going to make the absolute best of it.
Do you think it would help with recruiting at all? Just that, or ask to pitch that to the kids while you're recruiting?
Have you seen how good we're recruiting?
I'm asking you. Do you think it would help? If you as of right now, but as far as when you're pitching Temple to kids, do you think that would help?
One thing, when you talk about recruiting, the kids come to school with academics. Once they get on campus, they're vibe with the coaches, they're vibe with the players and relationships. And I think we've got a coaching staff and a team that is unbelievable at building relationships. When you walk in this building and you see the coaches around the players, you see the players around each other, you see the coaches around each other, the tightness, the bond that we have collectively as a team, as a program, you can't fake that. And so when recruits come on this campus and they see that, there's an energy, there's a juice, there's a closeness that you can't fake. And that's what kids come to Temple for. They want to be involved in a program that's tough. They want to be a program that's going to develop, players academically, athletically, get them to the next level. And I know this place can do it, and that's why we're able to be a good sell right now. On-campus stadium, off-campus stadium, all those things are great, but it's the relationships and the bonds that you make with people that differentiate yourselves from the other places and other programs.
And at your introductory press conference, you also said that you saw the renderings of the stadium. You said it had a view towards downtown. Is that?
How long ago was that, Benny? Right. I don't even know if I can remember the spring, much less that, but appreciate it.
Geoff, ECU has a pretty good dual threat quarterback who's come in. Can you talk about him?
Yeah, he's a special kid. He can run it, he can throw it. They're one of the top passing offenses in college football, and obviously our conference. He's got some really good weapons on the perimeter. They've got a young running back that's doing some really good things for him, and he's got a really quick release. He's a tall kid, but the ball comes out of his arm really, really fast, which helps in the protection. They've got a good offensive line, but his release and his ability to see coverage, I think sets him apart and makes him special. And then he can beat you with his speed as well. They've been doing some quarterback run game, RPOs and all those things in the perimeter. And whenever he needs to take you deep, he can do it.
On the other hand, the defense is allowing 50 points a game. What do you see there? And you've got to be able to see some opportunity.
Yeah, they've played some really good offenses. Some of the most explosive offenses in college football. But the thing that you do know is when you watch the tape, you watch every game, the thing that they do is they find whatever the strength is of the other team, and they take it away. They do a really good job at that. They change up the coverages week to week. They change up the fronts week to week. So the defense they play this week and the defense play the next week. So we've got to be able, even though we want to start fast, we've got to recognize what is the plan going in for us, because it's going to be unique to us, and try to find ways to get our players in space and create opportunities in the run game. But I think they do a nice job taking away what you're trying to do and we gotta figure out what that is early and counter it.
Geoff, Greg Webb was a new addition to the above the line depth chart
Yep.
yesterday. Just what has he done to put himself in that position?
Absolutely. We give an award to the guys that have the most juice points on Saturdays. And this is a kid who's a senior that he might have played maybe 10 plays this entire season. His senior year, Greg was a highly recruited kid, transfer here from North Carolina. But I just think the way his attitude has been, he's been selfless. He's the team's, one of the biggest fans on the team. Consistent energy, constant positivity. And even though he's not playing, he doesn't let him he doesn't get down and try to bring other kids down. That's not easy to do, man. Because a lot of times when kids aren't playing, what they want to do is they want to get over in a little corner and complain and grab another kid and then grab another kid, and all of a sudden you've got a corner of the locker room that complains. We don't have that. And it's because of kids like Josh Lang, it's because of kids like Greg Webb that see their role, they know their role, they're constantly trying to improve their role and enhance that role and expand their role. And when you do that and you have that kind of attitude, you get rewarded. And if you work hard every single day, you're going to get more playing time. And the kids in this program understand that. I think the guys in this room, I'm hoping, are starting to see that. That if the kids work hard, they have attention to detail, they do the right things on and off the field, study the game plan, work really hard, they're going to get rewarded and they're going to play. And that's the same thing with Greg Webb. Just the way his attitude has been. He went down last week and he was playing Oliver, number 10, a lot and was unbelievable. Most seniors, if they get thrown into that role on a scout team, are going to pout. They're going to have a bad attitude. He attacked it because he knew it was going to give us a chance to play better. That he was disruptive against Hennessy and against Sully and against Brian Carter, then that would make the game a little easier. And I just thought he did an unbelievable job. So kids like that are going to get rewarded in this program. And you're going to see, I'm not going to say a number of plays, because we don't set that until Friday morning after Thursday's practice. But you're going to see him playing a great deal on Saturday for us just because of what he's done in practice and the attitude that he's had in the locker room.
Is the Logan Marchie that you see in practice similar to the Logan Marchie that we see in the game?
Yeah, he's getting better. I know everyone was talking about the fourth game, but the first 3 games he played well. And I think the fourth game just collectively as offense, and I know the quarterback is going to take a lot of the hit, but collectively as an offense, we didn't play great. Okay, so we're good there. But I thought the things we did Saturday with Logan, it fit his game. I thought he did a nice job. You guys don't see the protections that he changes, the run game that he gets us into. There's 2 calls based on the look, and he sees the look and he makes the right call. That's quarterback play. But every single day we did 2 minutes this week. Everything we do is evaluated, and the playing time at all the positions will determine. But I think Logan's done a nice job, and he's consistently trying to get better, improve his poise, improve his decision making, so that we can be in the best possible situation to win and to play well.
As the quarterback,
His completion percentage is less than 50% in the 2 conference games. What would you like him to see get better at this week and moving forward?
Right, and just put the ball on target, read the coverage, get it to where it's supposed to be, read the indicators, deliver the ball on time, and we also have to make the catches too. And I challenged the receivers last week going into the game. We need to make every catch. Wherever it's closest in the zone, we got to make the catch. And I thought our receivers did a great job responding to that challenge and came out to try to catch the balls that are there. And he's throwing on time, he's throwing on rhythm. We got to make the catches as well.
Geoff, I know every game's important, I get that, but this one seems to be a little more important if you have designs, to play in the postseason. Do you look at this as that, any added importance? And basically after what happened over the past couple of weeks, try to turn this thing around?
So the big thing is we worry about every single day. Every single thing we do in this program is important. Every single day is important. Every single practice is important. Every single walkthrough is important. Every single film session is important. Every single game is important. The second you start weighing importances, then I think that's when things fall apart. There's a process that it takes to be great. We go through that process on a daily basis of film study, of practice, of work ethic, coming in and being great teammates, all those things, and we're going to play at a high level. We do not rate importances. that we're going to play at a high level. Every single practice is important. Everything we do is important. Every single game is important. And we talk about going 1-0 every day. We talk about going 1-0 every single week. So our sole and complete focus is this week's preparation for East Carolina.
Geoff, now, I know you didn't coach your son, Betty, but you got a chance to know him
Yeah.
once you got the job here.
Yeah.
Now, they're coming in to play the Eagles, but give me your thoughts on how he's doing and,
Right.
and what you think.
Now, I wish I could say I've watched a lot of NFL tape. These back-to-back, 6-day weeks, we haven't had time to do
Right,
much
but I
at
mean,
all.
you know.
Sundays, and my thing, I love football. I love college football. I love the NFL. I don't ever get to watch it. I don't get to watch Saturday college football. I don't get to watch Sunday NFL football. I'm watching game tape, and I'm happy to do it. But just the story of Hassan, from walk-on, number 58, to single digit, to a late in his career being a starter, to then being a first-round draft pick. I mean, that's a special story. And I just think that who he is and how he's handled it, the respect that he has in this program is through the roof. So he's been great to me. And I think we've tried to really bond with him and just make sure that he knows how important he is, because his story should resonate through this entire program. And anytime a freshman comes in, here's how Hassan did it. Here's how Keith Kirkwood did it. Here's how all the kids that have had success, their path, and just try to emulate it. So I think, Hassan's story is special. Whatever he's doing in the next level, we fully support and have the utmost faith in his success, and will support him in any means necessary. I think we do an outstanding job of pointing out the why of everything that we do. So yesterday, Keith Kirkwood, for the first, all off season, all spring, was a strong punt team. And then he was a little banged up, so we had to pull him off punt team. Actually, had to pull him off a lot of things. But yesterday, he was not getting reps on the punt team. Okay, Kenny Yabo was getting the reps on the punt team. Keith Kirkwood was standing here 3 yards behind the punter. We go through our punt protection, and we do our footwork, and we do our steps. 18 yards away, there's Keith Kirkwood doing that exact same footwork, exact same hand placement, exact same steps on air to make sure he's in the game. And those examples of a Keith Kirkwood, of Hassan Reddick, are the ways you're going to be great in this program. Do what Hassan did. Do what Keith Kirkwood does. And that's how you become great. We point those things out on a daily basis, because everything that we do in this program